Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Valdo Braust. I'm Program Management of Cybersecurity Engineering Bachelor Program, IVSB. And of course, you are beginning your 3-year study here in Tallinn Technical University or TalTech. And I will talk about the main principles about our cybersecurity program, what it actually is, and what is actually the topic you came here to study. Actually, why cybersecurity is extremely critical issue? If you have some mechanical device, you can disassemble it and you can straight understand the main principle, how it works. You can disassemble, assemble it, and if you know something about mechanics, main principles and so on, all will be clear after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, after half an hour, after a week, depending on the device. Now, if you have a digital device, you can see a chip, you can see a wires inside the chip, outside from the chip, and what is inside the chip, you do not understand. Of course, maybe you have some schemes, some principles, some descriptions, but probably you know that inside the typical digital chip, there are millions, sometimes even billions of elements, transistors. Therefore, to understand how it works actually, it's extremely expensive and practically infeasible. Of course, if you don't have a scheme, principally, I repeat, principally, it is possible to make a detailed reverse engineering analysis. And the simultaneous hardware and software audit, because most of chips, they are programmable chips. They are not only hardware, there is hardware with software. In typical computers, we have system software, operating system, and application software. Okay, we do not understand how it works to the details. Therefore, usually we don't really know up to details what's going on inside the digital device. However, is there a possibility of leakage of confidential data? Is there a possibility of distortion of important information? Is there some undocumented behaviors and so on and so on and so on? Okay, you can listen the information transfer inside the chip and outside from chip. But it helps only in limited way. Because it's possible to hide the actual content of the information. There's a special discipline which concerns these things called steganography. The traditional traffic monitoring, network traffic monitoring does not often help. What should be the possible solution? In order to prevent all of these, I mentioned only some things, leakage of confidential data, distortion of important information, undocumented behavior. It's generally necessary to implement a certain pre-agreed set of special security measures in order to ensure correct and secure operation of all IT solutions in all situations. It's only way if we control, using these digital devices, some critical, business critical system. Let's do some examples. Example number 1. Mafia Group X wants to assassinate the politician I. How we can perform it? Politicianized car central computer is actually hijacked by a mafia group. And actually, when politician drives on mountain road, the group X overtakes the whole car driving, brakes will be deactivated, speed will be fixed at 140 kilometers per hour, and the car's engine stopping capability is disabled. And the possibility of gear switching will be also disabled. What should be the result? 99.999% the result is a fatal crash. Why? For a very simple reason. Most of contemporary cars are almost fully controlled by the central computer, not directly by driver. There are only two exceptions. The one exception is steering wheel. It affects directly to the wheels and partly the brakes. And brakes is not controlled only by the driver. Brakes is typically controlled by both by the driver and by the central computer IVS system is there. Very dangerous. Let's me to explain the example number 2. Let's assume that we have country A. And there are some intelligence agencies in country A. And country A, the intelligence actually wants to obtain country B's secret military plans. What will be the description? How country A can receive the secret military plans of country B? Intelligence Service of State A replaces the Rolex watch of Commander C, State B Defense Forces, with an analog one, which looks like identical, but includes a hidden digital interception microphone, a GPS device, and of course, a radio transmitter. If there are secure meetings, the device will store all negotiations, and the negotiations and all what is discussed will be transmitted via radio signals, but not in these rooms which are protected, because in critical rooms there are typically radio waves detection devices. If the Rolex watch is actually inside the room where there are no such kind of devices, the stored information inside the watch will be transmitted. What will be result? No one doesn't notice that the secret negotiations will be intercepted, and country A will know all about country B's secret military plans. It will happen because there's a radio shield and a ban on introduction of mobile phone in critical rooms. But there will be radio silence in critical rooms. It will be transmitted later. Okay, also third example. Purchasing of votes for traditional paper-based ballot elections. As you probably know, Estonia was the very first country in the world which adopted actual e-election. I was also partially involved in this project. It was almost 16 years ago. And sometimes it is called that digital elections, e-election, are not secure. But the reality is a little bit different. Paper-based ballot elections are not fully secure. Why? From voters, they are asked to take a picture from the ballot in cabin using mobile phone after writing candidate's number and before entering the actual ballot, filled ballot into the ballot box. And after leaving the polling station, voters will show the photo of ballot. And if they are marked with the right number of candidate, they receive something. For example, the bottle of vodka, for example, a permitted amount of money, or something similar. How we can avoid it? In the simplest way. If we have restricted paper-based ballot elections, there are usually set the ban of mobile phone when we enter the election room. But it is really actual overkill that for ordinary elections, when I enter the election room, election house, my mobile phone, my smartphone will be banned. And of course, if they are mandatory that I can put my smartphone here, there's no guarantee that we have another smartphone which is hidden. And when I enter to the cabin, I will take my second smartphone and make the picture. And after that, if I have been voted to the right candidate, I will receive again permitted amount of money. It is very big shortcoming of paper-based ballot elections. Probably you also want to understand how important cybersecurity is, because they are three very serious examples. So, what is actually essence of cybersecurity? Or computer security, data security? They are not all similar, the same concepts, but they are similar concepts. Source principle of cybersecurity is very simple. If we have created some data, then the information, which is actually beared by the data, has usually a special value for us. Or IT specialists say it has a special value for our main process, our business process. And actually information security or cyber security, widely taken, is actually a discipline which concerns actually the maintaining of these values, properties of information. As you probably know, the vast amount of information nowadays is digital, in other words, handled by the computers. And it is the reason why it is often called also a cyber security or computer security. What is most of spread or so-called classical model of cyber security, information security? Cyber security classically is simultaneous assurance of three main goals or three main components, which are usually considered to be independent from each other. They are actually availability, integrity, and confidentiality. What does it mean? Availability, integrity, and confidentiality. When we talk about availability, it is actually the aim when the information beared by the data should be available only to these parties which are actually designated by the main or business process at a time, form, and other terms specified by the business or main process. One people needs in paper form, another people needs it information in smartphone, third people need it in the computer screen, and so on. What does it mean, integrity? Actually, when we talk about information or data integrity, it is the situation where concerned parties, actually the parties which are actually designated by the business or main process, know where the information originates and are really convinced on its accuracy. In other words, the information has not been falsified or changed in any other way. We know that information is actually correct. And the third component, third goal, confidentiality, sometimes called secrecy. It means that actually that information beared by the data may only be available to these persons, entities designated by the business or main process, and consequently should be inaccessible for all other persons, entities. How we achieve these goals? How we achieve availability, integrity, confidentiality? The classical way to achieve these is that ensuring cybersecurity, it's typically necessary to use and involve different type of techniques. Generally spoken, I listed here 4 main techniques. The first technique is IT. Hardware, software, networks, and so on. It is your future specialty. But there are 3 other types of techniques. Second type of technique is a human technique. You have some courses which cover also this area. There are legal techniques. And of course, there are mathematical, cryptographical techniques. Actually, cryptography is a special application of mathematics. Therefore, as security is the property of all IT processes, security needs to be addressed in all phases of information system. Forever, it is true. Therefore, cybersecurity technologies cover all aspects of IT and much more than IT. It is the main reason that in your curriculum is courses which are not directed to IT. Human factor, legal factor, physical security. They are all very important components. So, now we return your bachelor programs. When we assembled your bachelor program, we take as a basis some main principles. We defined and we stated 7 main principles. At first, we do not assume that you have a previous systematic experience and knowledge of IT. Therefore, we try to cover during 3 years all main topics of IT in preliminary basic level. And second, we assume that you have a deep interest in IT from security point of view. Without deep interest, you do not get any diploma. And also, we heavily assume that you have an ability to think logically and algorithmically. This is the most important basis for understanding IT and cybersecurity. I hope you remember your admission test. We assembled this test that it will notice your ability to think logically and algorithmically. Without these skills and knowledge, you do not get any diploma. Because your results are quite high, we hope that you all will get the diploma. Additionally, we assume that you have a math knowledge on a general international high school level. Also, the math knowledge we have tested it together with algorithmical thinking in admission test. How we have assembled your curriculum? We have tried to balance between theoretical knowledge and practical skills, slightly inclined to the practical sides. If you need some theoretical approach, it will be covered in TalTech, Tallinn Technical University, by Cybersecurity Master's Program. If you get a bachelor diploma, you are all welcome to the master's level. Graduates of IVSB will be able to independently design, operate and manage secure IT systems. And as cybersecurity is heavily related to all IT branches, I mentioned that security is property of all IT processes. We cover both IT administration, IT development. And we have tried to balance between them. We need systematic knowledge and skills. Some learning outcomes, of course, it is written down and you can read it from the study information system, but I repeat it shortly. If you finish the cybersecurity engineering bachelor program, you have understanding the concept of IT system life cycle. You have ability to co-test and distribute of an infosystem with a focus on security. You have ability to perform information system security testing, basing of best international standards and practices. And of course, you have basic skills to administrate, develop and test secure information systems. And of course, you will be familiar with the most important ethical norms of the cyber or data security. In the world level, in European Union level, in Estonian level. And of course, as I already mentioned, if you finish the cybersecurity engineering bachelor program, you can continue with cybersecurity master program. Some numbers, of course, they are written down all in study information system. You can read it independently. I hope that you are already familiar with these numbers, but I repeat shortly. Duration is 3 years or 6 semesters. Total amount of data points is 180. General studies 30, core studies 72, special studies 42, internship 24. Riina will give later small information about internship. She is responsible for internship part in our school. Free choice course is free and graduation thesis is free. And I made yesterday evening the short URL which includes links to the courses list. Some words about me. I am cybersecurity engineering program manager. Here are some contact data. You can access me. Physically, I'm here in Tallinn, not in all time because we have Corona time. Typically, I will be in Tallinn from 1 to 3 days in a week. And a lot of time I spent physically 100 kilometers from Tallinn because I'm a creator and owner of Estonian Bicycle Museum. Of course, if you need some consultation, we can perform it digitally, and Dagmar will give you later some times when I can find certainly here in Tallinn in this house. In Skype, I will be available only by previous demand. Actually, I have experience in the field of IT 38 years. I have experience in the field of cybersecurity last 30 years. And during last 30 years, I have involved in bulk of Estonian national security related IT project, for example, Estonian ID card, Estonian digital signature project. Estonia was very first country in the world which adopted digital signature in the country level. I have involved in Estonian national data security standard ISCA and so on. They are main information about me. And the last topic, we all hope that we can continue our studies in the contact learning form. But I'm not sure 100%, because all world is in the state of coronavirus pandemic. I thought a lot of time if I will spoke you about coronavirus pandemic or not, but because there are a lot of conspiracy theories and very hard to get independent information, I assembled 4 slides. I try to explain the current situation systematically. Okay, what is actual situation? Currently circulating coronavirus Delta variant is about 4 times more contagious as the original Wuhan disease. And the coronavirus itself, the Delta variant, is extremely dangerous because of rare co-accurrence of 3 very important factors. At first, extremely high infectivity. At second, mortality about 1%. And it's not the only property. Mortality 1% is with simultaneous very mild suffering for 80% of cases. And the last one, very active conspiracy theories disseminators. There are very much misinformation, which are heavily confused and misled a lot of decision makers at all levels. Also in Estonian national level, but I hope that not in our university level. But please take this into account. What about coronavirus vaccination? It is clear, up to present, that the vaccine protecting person in Estonia, there are available 3 vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna or AstraZeneca. A vaccine-protected person is approximately 4 times less likely to be infected than an unvaccinated person. What does it mean, 4 times? It means that unvaccinated person 4 times less likely to spread. Very simple. The initial vaccine effectiveness was 90%. But when vaccines were created, there was original Wuhan variant. Now the effectiveness 4 times, it's actually 75%. Therefore, what we can conclude? Against the Delta variants, vaccines are not excellent, but vaccines are satisfactory. But the vaccines are at the moment the only actual effective countermeasures against coronavirus. What is alternative? Alternative is long self-isolation that no one wants to stay. As I stated, we all hope that we can continue in contact learning. When the situation will be the first thing we go to the distance learning will be lectures. And the last one will be practices. Practices in distance learning, it is not a good variant. We try to do all maximum that it will not happen. At present, almost about half of Estonian population have been vaccinated. If you count something, and if you calculate, there are some little bit difficult calculations, type of these calculations which you performed in your admission test. 95% of virus spread in Estonia acts currently through the unvaccinated people. It is the main reason why in all the Europe, also in Estonia, there are set some restrictions to non-vaccinated people. Only 5% of total spread will be from vaccinated people to vaccinated people. How vaccines act? Vaccine protection prevents severe illness in 90% of cases. It is Estonian statistics numbers which can be derived from Estonian statistics from last 2 months, when the Delta variant is widely spread. It doesn't mean that it protects 10 times. Vaccine protection prevents death at least 97% of cases. Protection about 40 times. No one in Estonia have been died with 2 doses up to present. It is fact. The vaccine itself is also a little bit dangerous, but vaccine itself is likely to kill a maximum of 0.0001%. It is 1 case per 100,000. In Estonia, there are no more than 5, 6, 7 vaccine deaths. Estonian statistic is not very accurate, but it is estimated number. Vaccine protection lasts at least 6 months, but maybe a year. It is not yet clear. But it is clear that in the short months, for example, in the November, in December, it will be clear is there necessity or unnecessity for third dose. It is not yet clear. Let's wait a little bit. And the serious long-time side effect of vaccine, which is stated in some conspiracy theories, that impotence, nervous system damage, loss of natural immunity. No one of these haven't been predicted by serious medicine. What is serious medicine? Medicine which based on scientific, academical level. As I already mentioned, there are a lot of conspiracy theories. These rumors belong all to the bulk of conspiracy theories. Actually, my recommendations. I have 30 years experience in cybersecurity, 38 years experience in IT. I have worked 8 years in the Estonian central medical system as a chief security officer. I know a little bit medicine also. My personal recommendation. I definitely recommend to you to protect yourself with the vaccine. In order to protect your own health and lives and other people's health and lives. Only exceptions. When your personal doctor have been told you that you should be not vaccinated, but they are only few exceptions. In Estonia, it is less than 2% of cases. Of course, don't believe in conspiracy theories. You are members of academic world. Let's base on academic knowledges. And additionally, if you are already vaccinated, I recommend to avoid unnecessary physical meetings because it protects only 4 times. It is not full protection. And of course, I recommend to wear masks in a case of physical meetings with a large number of strangers. Of course, you're together, you will study together 3 years. It is one case, but if you meet with other strangers, it is reasonable to wear mask, for example, in department stores and other places. And be sure to test yourself, even having vaccinated, at the first signs of the disease, and switch to distance learning immediately if you become ill. Very simple principles. And let's stay healthy. I hope that you will stay healthy and you will all finished with a bachelor degree after 3 years. So, it is shortly all from my side. let's continue with Riina's part, please. Ma annan sulle selle aparaadi. Pane ta endale kuhugi.
I am Riina, and I am the internship curator for your study program. I will meet you actually in 2 years, no sooner. Internship in your study program is quite different than usually in bachelor's degree study programs in Estonia. Usually internship is short. Students can take it any time during their studies, and it's just about gathering some professional experience and then writing a report about it. In this study program, we want more. What we have a very long internship in bachelor's degree sense. It's 14 weeks with full terms, 40 hours per week. And there are many reasons why we have such a long internship. The main reason is we do not want to see that you have had some professional experience on your field. We want to see that you can analyze it based on your studies that you have taken. Now, to do that, first of all, you have to study before you can take the internship. Otherwise, you cannot analyze it based on your studies. So we have the prerequisites. The prerequisites give you a solid foundation of knowledge so you are able to perform professional tasks in the job market. Second of all, if you want to see you analyze your job experience, it isn't wise to ask you only to have that experience for 3-4 weeks. You will have your access to your systems by the end of the first week, maybe second week. You have your computer set up maybe in a week or two. It takes time to get yourself into your job position and role. With 14 weeks, you will be almost independent junior specialists. Lots of you will receive, if it is your first job experience, lots of you will receive a job offer. You will start as a junior specialist in the job market. So that's why we need you to work a long time for you to be able to actually analyze what you do. So therefore also the prerequisites and the long period of internship. Now there are 2 ways to pass internship. You can either pass the prerequisites and enter the internship or a junior specialist position, do the internship, write the report and so on, defend it. Or if you actually have been working in the field for some time already, at least a year, we do not ask you to formally play intern then in your job position. That's not our goal. But we still want to see how you analyze your tasks, your experience. So you will still have to write the report, but you don't have to actually go into an internship position. You can just bring us the proof that you have worked for such a long time. You still have to pass before writing the report the prerequisites, but after that it's only about writing the report and you can receive the credit points if the report is okay and we can see the analysis behind your thoughts. Yes, you have a question.
Yeah, what to do if I have my own company and running it by myself and
if you have your own startup? Yes, if you have your own company, then of course you cannot bring a proof of your employer. We accept that you have your own company, then we will prove it in another way, either in your B card or whatever way. We will try to find the logical and human response to a bureaucracy. That's not going to be an issue. So the most important information I want to give you is you have prerequisites. You cannot start the internship or write the report before you have passed it. And if you have any questions, you want to check something, you reach that point where you have passed all the prerequisites, everything is written down in your web page. If you, by the end of the second year, you cannot find the link anymore, find me. I will answer. I will send you the link. I will answer your questions. We will figure it out. And what is also very important, especially for foreign students, if you want to enter an internship in Estonia or the job market in Estonia, Estonian job market has its own characteristics, own logic, own rules that apply. Don't be aware of them before you start finding an internship position, or you can end up connecting, I don't know, 100, 200 companies and not understanding what you are doing wrong. Go to career seminars, come to my career seminars if I make them, and most importantly, be active in IT networks. Get into student unions, take part in hackathons, get familiar with IT industry in Estonia. These are all references that work in your behavior, in your behalf at the time when you are starting to enter the Estonian job market. So you have some knowledge of it. But yeah, have luck, good luck and fun with your studies. Be active and social, and look me up if you have any questions regarding internship. Thank you.
So, Dagmar, please. Dagmar will be permanently, almost permanently here.
Yes, that's true. So, I am Dagmar, assistant to the cybersecurity engineering program manager. It is very nice to see that there's a lot of people here today, and you have had a long day, so I think you're tired, so I will make very short. So that where to start? So these today's presentation slides I am going to send to your personal email addresses, and this is the last time when I'm using your personal emails. Later on, all important messages, information will be sent to your official university's email. So please be aware that you activate your email. If you don't want to read the university's email, then please direct it to the email address that you read every day for not missing important information. And the next step for you is to submit your study plan in the IVSE, but how it's the long version, study information system. So, and I'm sure you know the deadline. Deadline is 6th of September at midnight, but please don't leave it for the last minute because everything can happen at the last moments. Also, I checked your timetable. Your first lecture will be next Monday at 12 o'clock, so don't be late. And I think that's all from me. I wish you successful studies at IT College, and if you have any questions, then I'm here.
How to figure out to which group I belong?
This group number is written in a study information system under your under students' data. It should be there. The others, have you found? No.
If I'm not matriculated yet, how do I see?
If you are not matriculated, then I think it will happen soon. So before that, unfortunately, you can't have an access to study information system.
So let's do this step by step. As I understand, I'm going to my study information and my study plan.
At the moment, I can't say, so maybe we can check it later. So it should be under students' data. Students' data, there is a place. And I forgot to say that if you have any worry or question, then besides the study counselors at the dean's office, you are always welcome to visit me too. My room is here in that building on the 5th floor, so you are welcome there. Any other question? No? Yes?
How can I transfer some of my studies from my previous university?
How you can transfer your previous studies? So it's a quite long process, but everything is written down at the home page. the shortage of this short name of this procedure is APL, and you can find information from the homepage. Yes?
Besides the course for the first semester, may I take some course from the second semester?
Yes, if you can also take the courses from the second semester if they don't have prerequisites what you haven't passed yet, then yes.
May they be some compulsory courses, or they should be pre-elective?
They can also be compulsory courses, yes. Compulsory courses, elective courses, free choice courses from the other programs you can take. Yes?
Talking about internships, when do they usually take place? Is it the summer or
Internships, yes. It is up to the student when they want to enter the internship. You can do it during summertime, you can do it during the semester time. You are responsible for finding an internship position, but of course I will help, the university will help and counsel you. But we do not have a list of internship positions that you are assigned to. It is part of the internship to interact with the job market. So that's the first step to overcome. But it is your choice. You can do it either in Estonia or abroad. We have Erasmus scholarships in Europe, and you can do it either in full terms or part-time, in parts, or in one kind of period. So that's very flexible.
Any more questions?
So, questions also to me, please.
Is it possible to take some master program courses as free choice courses?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, if this course doesn't have a prerequisite, then you can take it.
Free choice, it means that free
Yep.
choice, there are no restrictions to the free choice courses
Yes, if
from our university side.
if the lecturer hasn't put
Yes, of
put
course,
any
because
limits.
it should be negotiated by the lecturer, of course. So, more questions, probably. To me or to Dagmar?
No.
So, in these cases, good luck to you. I hope you all will finish after 3 years, and let's stay healthy. Thank you very much.